Now let's continue with the I have do the post, create, update, delete, and rest for the comment. So now I will do quickly for the post. So first I will add a new class a post detail for the request from the customer, from the client, and the post response detail. And I will copy some property post detail don't have the ID, and for the comment post he creates only post, not create the comment in the post. Notation the data, and you can see in the post response always have the comment. And I add new interface is post service, and post service also have some methods like comment service. Here the return is post response detail, and the request is post detail. And as new the post service implement from the post service, and I add annotation is service for create the bin in the Spring Boot. And you can see I inject the bin of repository in post repository, and also require argument constructor for create the require argument constructor. And for the get all we only use a stream post.fileOn.stream. Because we return a post response detail, and then we must create the method private method to return the post response detail, to map from the detail to the entity post to the detail post response detail, mapper to post detail. The parameter here is a post, is an entity post, and to return the post response detail we create a new post response detail, and we set the property of post entity to post detail. Yes, so I think entity get ID, set all the property. So you can see because here is a post response detail, and then we also set a comment response detail, and here so you can see that we have the we must to convert from the comment detail to comment response detail to set to the post DTO. And to do it, you can remember that we had the method to mapper from the comment DTO, comment entity to DTO, and then we use it for the post DTO. We change the asset profiler in public static to use in the other class, and here you can use the stream to map all of comment entity to comment detail like this, and stream does map from the ECCOMMERCE, then we do map to DTL at here, and we pass the comment at here, and then we collect the to set because we return the set. So I will change the name of method in comment DTL for easily to understand. Here you can see, here I will change the method and we import static, and then you can see we have returned the we have complete the mapper from the entity to DTL. And then for the get on method, get on the port, I will use stream dot map here always the same for export from the port. For export we can map to port DTL. We pass parameter in port at here, and we collect to the list here. And for the file by ID methods, we can use like optional dot up value at here is mapper to port DTO, and then we return a port repository parameter is port repository dot file by ID at here, and we get to return the port object, and also we return the optional of port. And for the update and delete is the same. For the save post, create the post, new post, and then we set the set on the property. Here, and because the comment we don't save with post, and then we don't set it at here, and then for the post save hash save equal port repository or save the post, and then we return the map to DTO port DTO. We will convert to save port at here, and for update is the same, but little bit different. We can get the port we want to change at here, and then after that we will set all property, and also we parties to client to return it. For the delete is the same. We call the port repository delete by ID, and then we return a successful delete successfully, and then in the controller class I will create a new post controller and define a red controller and define the path for all paths in path, start with path, and as the executive dependency in path service, and create automation to create the required common constructor, public response entity. You can use the class to respond, or can you respond the object because the object is a super class of all object in the Java. Include exception is always it had a object. Firstly, file. Here the method is get. Here is file and return new response entity post service dot post service get on and return the status is status is okay, and for the save here it creates public response entity. You can respond to object, or you can assign to path response detail is the same. So I will and create and we request the body from the client post detail. Then we return the new report entity post service dot save detail, and status is okay. Same with the similar with the command in updates. So you can use the pet variable or request param. Public response entity, so use object is the same. Updates, I use the request parameter is the parameter is id to update, and log id, and we request the data to change, and also return new report entity post service dot update pass DTO and pass ID, and status is okay. And for the delete mapping, here is delete can public response entity string delete. Here you can set a variable id to delete here, and a variable name id to delete, log id, and we return the new response entity. Entity is post service dot delete id, and status is okay. For the get by id is the get mapping or get method, and then we return the id at here. Public response entity object guess, and the pet variable ID at here, long ID, and return new record entity post service dot find my ID, the ID at here, and status is okay. So you can see that I have quickly create some method to update, delete, read, and create for the post, and then now I will test this API. So you can see that I have created here. You can see I have here is a post, the API. I have test, so I will send it, and you can see, so the title is I have created. So now I will delete this. I will table post. I will delete this. Drop the table. So I will here. So I will create a new. Here is a football. The description title is football. The post title is football. The description is about footballer and who is your favorite footballer. Yeah, and then I will send the request. Think footballer. Okay, I will send the request. The number. So here's the null point exception because I don't have comment, and then I have set it, but I will comment it and to test some API about the bot. So you can see here always duplicate the entry because I have created, but for the mapper I have the null point for the comment, and then the exception have been appear. But I will change. Here is a balloon, and what kind of place do you want to play with the balloon? Then I will send the request. So you can see the API create is successful and get by the ID. ID is, you can see ID here is 7, and I will send the request. Here is a request for the here ID to for the port controller at here. Get is the ID, and ID at here, and you can see ID is 2, or you can get the here get the port we have create, and and the save, the pause, push. For the push, you can see updates, and the parameter is ID to update is 7. So you can see I have created a 7 with the balloon, and I will change the content. Do you have you ever play with the balloon? Here I will change it, and now I send the request. Here you can see, have you ever played with the balloon? And for the delete, I will delete to the 7 here. So you can see get the ID is 2, and you can see 2 is education. And now I will delete this ID to delete is not the parameter, is a variable to send request. You can see delete successful. And now you can see if I guess with the ID is another number, you can see the error is no value present, and no value present, and here is an exception. Here is an exception, but I will want to only pass the message is port is not found or comment is not found, and then to do it we will handle the exception. To handle the exception, firstly I will create the package error. In the package error, we can create the custom exception, create the class to manage all the exception at here. First is the global exception. Global exception is like as the red controller, and we use the annotation is red controller advice for the handler exception, and for Spring Boot can receive it is the exception, and you can extend from the rest responsibility exception handler. And for the port service at here, if the port is not found, so we must throw the exception for the client. And to this, we will create the class is resource not found exception. The resource not found exception is we can define the response status is not found. Here not found is the status is we can here status is 404 and 404, 403, 402, and many status you can customize. But for the not found, the Spring has defined, and I will use it. And for the global exception receive, it is a exception we must extend from the runtime exception, and then we can define the property like as a simple class string. So I will define the basic message, only we pass the message to the class, and we throw to the client, and then we use the later the public resource not found exception string message this does message equal message, and then for the, so you can see, and So for each custom exception, we must define in the global exception handler and resort not found exception class to global to the resort not found exception can binding to the client public response entity body string or the object. So I will define simple, and you can see string and handle love resource not fact. Here binding the resource exception that here, and then we return the new response entity. We get the message from the resource exception, and the method is not found at here. And then you can see for the post service, if the post is not found, so you can use the optional in the new feature in the JavaS like here, post repository dot file by ID. We pass the ID at here, and you can see that the method is return the optional of generic. Here you can see optional generic, and you can use like or l throw. Here we can throw the exception at here, new resource not found exception, and we pass the parameter is post not found with ID plus with ID, and for the simple, so you will do it like post equal post repository dot file by ID dot get. Here you can get the post from the database, so you can check the if post equal null, and then we throw new file option, but you don't need to do it. You can use the optional for, you can ignore for many line codes and make it cleaner. And then now I will rerun again. Here you can see, so I send the request. So you can see the message have been binding a post not found with ID. Here you can see that. And I will change here message here status is 4404. The message is not found with ID. So you can cut them. Here you can see. So now I will for the we have a part at here. So I will fix all the exception. So first here I will change at here dot or throw new result not found exception is post not found with ID load with ID, and if the port is not found, and then we don't set on property, we throw exception for the client. Here and delete. Here is the same, and first we can find and throw new result not found exception post not found to delete here, and then I will rerun again. And at here you can check if the entity does get comment nó sai small bigger than the 0, and then we set it, and if not if we don't set and return the null for the comment. And then you can see for the delete, so I will delete the ID certain number. You can see port of file to delete, and for the update, so I will the update bigger number and then port of file to delete. And you must remember that for the updates you must remember that you will check after we set property for the entity. You must remember that. So here I have quickly for the global exception, and you can see in the report entity exception here it has many methods and many exceptions, like HTTP request method not supported. You use the wrong methods, like here you change it to guess, then you can see here the method not allowed, and you can cut them. Here you can see here is a method, but here is a superclass, and you extend from the superclass, and then we can override all the method to handle the exception like this. So you can see public here you can see return entity, public response entity, object handler. So I will override methods and override the method like you can see. So yeah, you can see I have you can cut them for this method. Yeah, it's the same, or you can override and cut term is, and do not depend on the superclass. And so you can see that I have created the method to create the pod. We have pod, and then now we will create the comment for the pod. So you can see in the comment detail I have the property long ID, and long pod ID represent for the pod. So from the client we only send the ID of the pod, and we can create the comment for this pod. And then for that, in the comment in the comment service for create you can see. So I will fix the exception that here comment repository dot file by id dot or throw new result not found exception comment not found. So you can custom the exception. And for the save from the DTO we have the port ID. So firstly, to save comment to the post. So we must check if post exists or not. First, post equal post equal post repository. So I will add new private post rep. We inject post repository at here. Post repository dot file by id dtl dot get post id, and if not exist, I will throw the new result not found exception is post not found to rest to not found with id merge with dtl dot get post id. Here if post exists, then we set the post to the comment. So you must remember that you will check all the condition after you set property, you create a new after step here. You must check all the condition, or some condition here, condition 2, and then condition 3. So all the conditions are then all condition, and then we will start to set it, because if condition is not found, it have the error, and then the web client, the web will return the message to client and not process the after logic process, and we can reduce the time. For the update is the same, and we comment here not outro new result not found option comment not found to update here, and then we can, and then here, so we update the post, we also update the post, and then can post equal post repository dot file by id dto dot get post id, and then we outro the new sort of file post not found here, and then you can comment set post equal post here, and the id, so I will don't check it. So for the comment repository dtl, so the dtl dot set post title, the dtl at here I have us the new, so here is a post. The dtl always return the post, and now I will check, I will rerun and check again. So create a new comment. Here the comment has, so you can see I have the post with id is 7 here, and now I will save a new comment for the post is 7. We pass the post id is 7, and name is slot, and the email me zone, and with tick, then I will create. So you can see that you can see that because the comment has the post has one post, and the post always has some comment, and then has to set a comment. And then you can see here is a recursive problem in the Spring Boot. Here the post, here is a comment has the port IDE 7, and the comment always has the port has a comment, port has a comment, and then the port here the comment has the port has comment, and then recursive problem. And to fix it, first you delete the annotation later and replace it equal getter and setter. And for the comment, you always have the same, and in the comment response DTO, you don't return the post, you can return the post, return string equal, and change the body, you return the post title, not the old post, depend on the requirement. So here it says post title equal comment.getPost.get title, and then in the okay, so again check it again. So you can see here, so again get support with ID E12, get comment with ID E12. So you can see here support title balance. So another way to prevent the post at here, and you can use a JSON ignore here. So in the notation JSON ignore is we will ignore the property import when binding to the client. So now let's check again. So you can see here, you can see that the port is don't appear at here, but I will delete this. And you can see the recursive problem play again, and I will first annotation ignore here. And you can see here the property has been disappear. But if you want to some property of support display in the lesson client, so you can change the property. We change the property here. We set the property of port to the property you want. So depend on the requirement. And this video and now thank you for watching.